Hello, fellow Inquisitors! Split Persona here, and welcome to a very special episode of Inquisitor Murder. We are going to be talking about a few things today. First, we're going to talk about, the brand new class, the Hierophant class. I believe that's how you pronounce it. If I butcher it, I apologize. Please feel free to correct me in the comments. I am not the best with pronouncing things sometimes, so if I mess this up, I apologize. But we're going to talk about the new class that's available. I actually have one started. This is my little test character that I am going and just running a quick little basic. I apologize also for the amount of time it's been in between videos and me just even getting started on this class. I've had a lot going on, been trying to get some stuff done, get some other stuff taken care of, so again, apologies. But we're going to talk about the new class. I'm going to talk about the changes they've done to the seasons and the seasonal updates, and we're going to talk about my thoughts for what I would like to see for the game in the future, and you guys can put down in the comments what you would like to see for the game in the future. So without further ado, let's jump into the class first. The Hierophant class. It's interesting. I don't want to say that they're running out of ideas, because I do like the concept. But the fact that you're getting just your other classes as basically fellow servants that follow you around feels weak to me as far as design goes. For instance, let's just jump over here to where you go to customize this character. This is your blessings and retinue setup. So if we come over here, this class it feels like a combination of the Tech Adept and the Sister Sororita. The Sister Sororita has, blessings. Your fire blessings, your saint form, all that stuff. Acts of faith. Your spell setups on this feel like that. So it feels like a direct ripoff. The retinue, it's really nothing more than you have a Crusader, you have an Assassin, you have a Psyker, you have a Battle Sister. Now, granted, you unlock these as you level up, but you literally take all four of them. Once you have them unlocked, all four of these come with you, and they're what you fight with in battle. This feels almost kind of like the Tech Adept's skills with summoning constructs. However, these you don't summon. These have health, and if they die, you can walk up to them and you actively have to heal them to get them back on their feet. There are some stuff you can do that is very interesting. Each one has their own passive skill tree. So if we go here, passive skill tree, passive skill tree. And if you look up here, they each have a retinue slot. Now, the interesting thing is this retinue slot, you can't mix them. So this will literally pull from your pool of unlocked character slots, your perk points. Like, I can't equip this because it's already assigned to the Crusader retinue member. So I can't put this one on. But if you look, there is a green version of this, which is what the class character uses. And then there's a blue version, which is what the retinue or your follower uses. So there's two different versions, but you can't use it at the same time that a retinue is using it. Which I think is dumb if it's being two different effects. I can see not having two retinues have the same at the same time. That I can see. But I don't know if I care much for having it locked where you can't use it on your class and the retinue at the same time if they're having two different effects. If they were the same, 100% understand that. I agree 100% with not stacking bonuses. But if they're two different effects, I should be able to equip it no matter what. So that is a little bit of a issue I'm having. Again, the other issue is it just feels like it's just copy-paste stuff. Like this, the retinue. It's the Tech Adept's skill tree to a certain extent. You're just reskinning and redesigning a little bit of the construct summoning sets. It's Calistan robots. Like, you get them in, they're permanently there. They die, they go offline for a little bit, and then they come back on. That's how the Calistan robots work. You know, I have a build for how you can get 3 of them. The only difference is that you can get 4, but they're all your character classes. Like, if you're going to do this, I would have much rather had something unique. Extremely unique. Don't give me a Psyker. Give me a Pariah. Give me one of them. Don't give me a Crusader. Give me a Space Marine. Don't make it the same as what my classes are, because that's boring and lame. I want uniqueness. I want this class to be special. If the weapons stay the same, that's fine. It's a Warhammer 40k universe. They can't make new weapons anyway. I mean, lore accurate wise, they are not able to make, according to the lore, new weapons. So if they all use this, so if the Crusader is replaced with the Space Marine and it uses the same weapons, I'm fine with that. And it gets a skill tree like this, I'm fine with that. But don't make it a Crusader. Use your imagination. Give me a Space Marine that'll follow me around. Don't give me a Psyker. Give me a Pariah. Give me something cool. Give me something that this game does not already have. The spell slot setup, again, I feel it's almost too similar to what we have with the Sister of Battle. Sisters of Battle have Acts of Faith. You get this. You get the ability to cast these by gaining Devotion. I'm sorry. That is too similar, in my opinion. Is the class interesting? Extremely. Am I still going to play it? Absolutely, I am, because I love this game. I just have some gripes about it. Because I almost feel like they're running out of ideas. And it's one of the reasons that I kind of haven't done a video in a while, is because of certain things that they're doing that I'm like, yeah, I don't know if I feel like I like that. Oh, I still play it, but I just need time to process it because I'm not 100% sure if I like this. Like I said, it almost feels like they're just copy-pasting ideas and running out of them. But as far as that's how you go and like deal damage is your retinue class, like I said, I don't have an issue with that. Just make them unique. Give me something different than my 4 class starters. Don't give me something I already have. Make sure this is unique and interesting. Also, this class can only use 2 types of weapons. Swords and pistols. I'm not going to lie. I approve of that setup. I like that setup because if you've ever watched my pistol video that I've done, pistols don't get used. Once you unlock the heavier weapons, pistols are gone. You never use them again, ever. This class has an offhand weapon that you need to use. It's basically how you go about using certain skill sets. It locks you to only using pistols and swords. That's all this class can use is pistols and swords. I am for that. Having a class that is, kind of pistol orientated where you are not going to be dealing the damage. You're more of like, oh, I'm just going to hide behind this group back here, point my pistol at it and just go pew pew. I'm not 100% against that. Every other class seems to be, even the Tech Adept with the constructs, to a point you were still dealing, depending on the build, you would still deal quite a bit of damage. Even with the support of your army, you were still reliant on running around dealing damage. With this class, however, I actually found myself taking cover, a mechanic I've never used before, because there's a perk tree in here where if you use cover, your retinue members begin to heal and do other things. So this is very much okay, this class is going to cover, and then you use your other commands to direct your retinue players. It's basically point and click, and you're directing those other characters where to go. Like I said, it's an interesting class, and I like the idea. I don't like how they gave us the retinue. I believe the retinue should have been done different. Like I said, I would have preferred other characters to be given to us. Like I said, Crusader's the first one you start with. I'm sorry. Give me a Space Marine. Just give me a Space Marine. An Assassin. Yeah, there's a couple other things you could do. Sister of Battle. I mean, I could easily think of a way to just make an entire Space Marine squad. Like, if you wanted to do this correctly, you could do an entire Space Marine squad and each one is just a specific role. That's how I would have done it. So, but that is my initial view of this class. Could it change? Yes. Am I still going to play it? Absolutely. Like I said, I love this game. This is one of my favorite games. I am going to continue to play this game. Once I get everything unlocked and I actually have a better feel for it, I am fully planning on releasing tutorial videos. I will probably have to do, because of the retinues and how they are, individuals for each one. But we'll get to that when I have this better handled and I have a better understanding of how the class works. Now, the next thing I want to talk about, because this is another thing that's been not necessarily upsetting me, but it is a little frustrating. The seasons. If we go in here, you had all 7 seasons. And you ended with Season of Malediction. That was the last one we had. I believe it ended back in January, I want to say. You now have the option to go, and when you make a character, you can pick any of those 7 seasons. Start from the beginning and go through them and unlock anything that you do not have. As far as I know, this is how it's going to be from now on. There are no more seasons. It is just these 7. You pick what you want, you create your character, and you can just keep going. I have mixed feelings about this. 1, you took away a very good and highly anticipated content from the game. I always looked forward to the new seasons. I always wanted to try to rush myself, push myself, try to get the season done. But on the other hand, I also have a job. I have a life outside of this, surprisingly. As much as I love Warhammer and this game, I do have other things I have to do. One of the reasons I haven't done a video in a while. But I've never, in the entire time I've done this, been able to finish a tier 5. I've gotten to within 2 or 3 objectives before a season's ended. And I've gotten close. I've gotten real close. But I've never actually been able to complete an objective 5. This is one of the benefits. This actually gives you the option to go back, replay them, and get your final objectives. Like, if I want to go and, let's say I wanted to go tier 5, I could finally get my Crimson Frames. I could go and I can get all of my Crimson Frames on all of my tier 5s. My commendations, my avatar frames, all those things that I've want. I could get them finally. But there's no time limit. So it's still there, but it's not like it's as pressing. Sorry. So, no big deal if I don't get to it in time. Which, that's an aspect I can also appreciate, because it's, hey, busy with work, other things, I can come home, work on it for a little bit, get done what I can get done, and then continue onwards. The problem I have is, if you're not going to do seasons, and you're going to do it like this, I think there needs to be something replaced. What I would like to see is an end game content. Something special. Where, let's say you hit level 80. Because most players, once they hit level 80, the grind for XP and loot and everything else slows down significantly. I said this in a couple of my videos. Once you hit level 80, the grind becomes real to go from level 80 to 100. It becomes extremely slow. So in my opinion, what I would want to see is go, have star chart events, random ones. If you look at how your missions are on a star chart, let's actually go over to the star chart and look. Let's just pull it up. Would help if I actually had missions. All right. So, if we look at this here, I have these here. Assassination, demonic incursion, data hunt, siege, rescue. Now, the thing is, once I fill up this influence bar, there's really no reason to come back to the system. I don't need to come back unless I need to go and just, get a couple extra things. I don't see why I would need to come back to this system. None at all. What I would love to see is something special. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but as far as I know, I don't think the game has anything like this. When you go and completely max out a system, I want to see something that goes, not matches your level, but goes above it. A random rolled fixed stat mission. And I mean really random. Random buffs, random debuffs, random Uther's Taros, random enemies. You don't pick the tarot. It's a random roll. What you get on it is what you get. The buffs. Random buffs. It may not even be for your build, but that's what you're going to get. The debuffs. You may have it where that mission rolls where you only have a couple of minutes to complete it, and it may be an exterminate mission. You may have it where, you only have 2 lives, or, something along those lines. I want to see something like that. But I want it to be where every aspect of it is random. But the rewards, I want to be exponential. If I'm a level, let's say 90, and I go into it, I want that XP to be beneficial for me to actually complete that mission, to make sure that I'm bumped well on my way to going towards 100. I want to be able to do this mission so that I can grind it and get it done in order to get to my level 100. But I also want my rewards to be good. We have Void Crusades. We have some of the other missions that are high-end tiers. But as far as I'm aware, I don't think we have a random rolled system encounter. Unless I am completely oblivious, I think there needs to be a new event added. Maybe not seasonal, but a new event to take care of going and giving us some... Sorry. Going and giving us something to take the place of... If we're picking a character that is going from 0 to 100 to complete these seasonal objectives that we no longer have a time frame on, that we can pick any season. Well, I'm going to just pick my favorite character class. I'm going to build min-max that. And I'm going to just play that on my favorite season. Or the one that I don't have everything on. And I'm going to make sure that I have the most fun. So, give us something that will go and work while we're doing that. Oop, wrong button. Back to the command bridge. So, like I said, unless I've missed something, I do not remember seeing anything like that. So, if I did, I apologize, and just go immediately down in the comments and let me know what event that is, and like, I very well could have missed it. But I think it should be that once you've completely maxed out a system, that system becomes eligible for a random roll mission. Max level, a few levels above you. Random Uther Tarot, random benefits, random disadvantages, random enemy. You may get it even where, who knows, you could have it where you can only take certain weapons in. I would love to see something like that, even. Make it where, you can only take in heavy weapons. You can only take in fire-based weapons. You can only take in melee weapons. Something like that. Put in stipulations. Make these missions challenging, but also make them rewarding. The other thing I would love to eventually see is I want to see new races. We're playing Warhammer 40K. I want to see orcs. I know that's going to sound weird. I want to see orcs. I think they would be absolutely fantastic in this game. I want to see orcs. If we're going and fighting Xenos and everything else, nothing says Xenos in Warhammer lore more than orc. I mean, we're already fighting Eldar. Might as well have the orcs. So, I would love to see maybe a couple new races. Something like that. Maybe that would be the way to go and do some of those random missions. Have it where, hey, we're going to introduce this new race, but they only show up in these missions. They're slowly invading the system. So, yeah. Your job is to try to stem the tide and push them back as much as possible before they full-on invade. But, yeah, good luck. I think something like that would be extremely fun to do. But those are, like I said, this video is just my initial thoughts on A, the new class, B, the seasonal changes, and C, where the game is heading as of right now and what I would like to see happen. So, a couple of things, that I've just been spitballing, just my opinions. I would love to hear any of yours. And again, if I've missed something, if there is indeed a mission like that and I'm just dumb and I've missed it, don't be afraid to let me know down in the comments. I would love to absolutely know. But I would say 100% based off of what they're doing with seasons, based off of what they're doing with this class, it almost feels like they're running out of ideas. And that has me a little worried. So, I'll never stop playing this game, but I would very much like them to go and, before they add anything to it, maybe try to do it a little bit differently than just copy paste something they already have or make it this similar. But again, these are just my opinions, and that's just my viewpoint on it. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If not, you know, that, like I said, just my opinions. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys would love to see added to the game. And I will catch you all in the next episode. Have a good day.